Good morning, beloveds. I don't even. It's September 30th. Today is my father's birthday. Um, and I'm just a little off kilter today. Well, I'm a lot. I guess I should say I'm a lot off kilter because I'm always a little off kilter. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where my head is today. So yesterday was my last day at the Cypresswood location. It officially closes today. But I don't get to be down there. I don't get to be there for strip down, and that's okay with me. So, went for a nice long bike ride, and I'm gonna get on with my day. All right. So, it is September 30th, and our title is "I Overcome Hate by the Recognition of Love." And our quote is, "The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not." And that is from John 1:5. There is but one presence in the universe. Since it is in and through everything, it must be in and through you. This presence manifests itself in and through all forms, all people, all conditions. This presence is life itself. Its nature is love and givingness. Negation may be an experience and a fact. It can never be an ultimate truth. Life cannot separate itself. No. All right, let me try that line again. Life cannot operate against itself. Always the negative is overcome by the positive. Good cannot fail to overcome evil. The meek alone shall inherit the earth. Finally, the consciousness of good must overcome the negation of evil. Finally, it will obliterate everything unlike itself, even as the sun dissolves the mist. Say, I refuse to contemplate evil as a power. I know that it will flee from me. It dissolves and disappears in the light of love. I know that hate cannot exist where love is recognized. I turn the searchlight of truth upon every apparent evil in my experience. This light dissolves every image of evil. The manifestation of good is complete. Love makes the way clear before me. I am guided in an ever-widening experience of living. My every thought and act is an expression of goodness which flows from life. All right. There's a it's a heavy topic. It's a heavy topic. And it's kind of a heavy topic based on what's been going on for the last couple, year and a half. Starting with the fact that evil is not a power in and of itself. All right? It's not a power. It is a misuse of. The law is neutral. The law is neutral. The law does not judge. The law is what you put into the law is what you get out of it. And so if you have an evil intent, then the law is going to return to you that. And if you have a good intent, then the law is going to return to you that. The law doesn't have any way of saying, well, this is good, I shouldn't do this. And because I've been talking about free will for the last couple of days, and that's part of it. Part of our free will is how we use that power. Do we use it in the service of life, or do we use it in the service of ego? And even using it in the service of ego isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the ego isn't bad. The ego has a very specific job to do. The ego's job is to protect you. The problem is when we use that power in the service of protecting ourselves, but when it harms other people. And when love is involved, it's not possible to harm another. When we recognize that we all are animated by the same spirit, when we recognize that all life is related, that all life comes from the same source and returns to the same source, then evil is hard. Evil is hard because you don't want to harm that which you are related to. So, but it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy. It's like I can stand here and say this and then put me in a real weird situation and see what I do. Ideally, I have done my spiritual work and I will always choose life. You know, that's the goal. And life doesn't always look like what we expect it to. That's one of the things about dealing with spirit is like sometimes we have to give up what we thought we had and deal with what's actually there. And you see that meme all the time. And that's really what it is with life is we have to give up what we thought it was gonna, what we think it should be, what we thought it was gonna be, and deal with what it is. And then from there we can go into, all right, so this is what it is, and now I can move on. I can move on. So, September 30th, I overcome hate by the recognition of love. The quote is, "And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not." And that might be a little bit of ignorance. Okay? So that's John 1:5. Ignorance is a choice. Ignorance is a choice. It is seeing the situation and deliberately ignoring it. It's like, okay, you could have this information or you have this information and you're making this choice anyway. So ignorance is a choice. And so the darkness comprehend it not. The darkness will never understand the light. It will never understand the love. So now, I'm not saying darkness is bad. Because if we didn't have darkness, we wouldn't see the stars. But I think what he's talking about here is ignorance, not darkness. So just go read it in context. There is but one presence in the universe. There's one life, one power, one presence, one. We are all made from that one. Since it is in and through everything, it must be in and through you. So the same power that made absolutely everyone made you, and the same power that made you made absolutely everything else. This presence manifests itself in and through all forms, all people, all conditions. This presence is life itself. Its nature is love and givingness. And that, the nature of life is giving. I mean, go look at springtime when everything just explodes into, the nature of life. It is giving. And it is loving, and it is up to us to align with that. Negation may be an experience and a fact. It can never be an ultimate truth. Life cannot operate against itself. And again, go back and look at nature. For the most part, animals' first instinct is to protect. We're one of the few. Always, the negation is overcome by the positive. Good cannot fail to overcome evil. The meek, and remember, meek means teachable. The meek alone shall inherit the earth. So the teachable, those of us who are willing to learn, those of us who are willing to look around and see life as it is, to see people as godlings, to see that everything is sacred. We're the ones who truly live here. Finally, the consciousness of good must overcome the negation of evil. Finally, it will obliterate everything unlike itself, even as the sun dissolves a mist. Because we're all using the same power. And those of us who are using it for the benefit of all mankind, there's more of us than them that aren't. And we just need to remember how powerful we actually are. All right. So now we're going to move on into the treatment part, the mantras, the power statements. Feel free to use them in your treatments, and if a word does not ring true for you, change it. Ernest is okay with that. So say, I refuse to contemplate evil as a power. I absolutely do. I don't believe evil is a power. If you go back and read the Bible story about Job, you can see that Satan is an office. Think of Satan as a prosecutor. That's where we get the term devil's advocate. It's like, let me tell you why humanity is not good. It's not a power. It's not a power. And it is an argument that we can overcome. I know that it will flee from me. It dissolves and disappears in the light of love. The most powerful power that we have is love. And in the face of love, pretty much anything will fall apart. Pretty much anything will fall apart. And the more love you bring to bear on a situation, the faster that will happen. Now, that being said, I'm not advocating putting yourself in a situation that is unsafe. And I'm not advocating becoming a doormat, because that's not love either. In a loving situation, both subjects are taken into account about what is best for them. And sometimes in some situations, the most loving thing you can do is walk away. All right? So do not take this as a religious, because that is what I consider religious abuse, is when we are browbeaten into staying in a situation that is not healthy and not safe for either party because of love. All right? Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. All right? I don't ever want anybody to think, oh, well, love can. Yes, love can, but it doesn't have to be you. Somebody else may be better suited to that situation, and you need to walk away. All right. I know that hate cannot exist where love is recognized. I turn the searchlight of truth upon every apparent evil in my experience. I turn the searchlight of truth on every apparent evil in my experience. What that will do is that will let me look at the situation as it actually is. It will also allow me to take the power away. All right? Because sometimes things happen and we go, that's evil. And yes, it may be, but once I look at the situation, I can see where I can take the power out of it. And sometimes the best way I can take the power out of it is, and here's where I'm going to use that Jesus turn the other cheek. The situation, the best thing I can do is take my attention away from it. All right? Because if I take my attention away from it, if I turn the other cheek and look and focus on something else, and I take all of the power away from whatever is happening over here, it will fall apart, because what it was thriving on is my attention. All right? So remember that. There's more than one way to look at the way Jesus said, turn the other cheek. So if I turn the searchlight of truth upon every apparent evil in my experience, this light dissolves every image of evil, because it lets me focus my attention on where it should be and take my attention away from where it shouldn't. It allows me to make better choices. The manifestation of good is complete. Love makes the way clear before me. If I make choices in love, I cannot make the wrong one. And remember that it is about benefiting everybody and harming none. If I am the only person that benefits from it, that's okay. If I am the only person, as long as nobody else gets hurt. If I benefit from it and everybody benefit from it, then that's fantastic. But if I benefit from it and it takes away from somebody else, that's not good. So, love makes the way clear before me. I am guided in an ever-widening experience of living. We're meant to live. My every thought and act is an expression of goodness which flows from life. All right, so I'm going to choose this as the mission for today, just because it really speaks to me. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to turn the searchlight of truth upon every apparent evil in our experience. Turn the searchlight of truth. Look with the eyes of love at any situation in your experience that appears to be evil. All right? Really look at the situation. Look at the situation as it is. Not as you think it should be, not as you think it could be, but as it actually is. And then make a choice there. Because frequently, when we are not looking with that searchlight of truth, then we are making decisions not based on truth, and we are perpetuating the situation that we are working on. So look at the situation, use that searchlight of truth, use that light of love, look at the situation as it actually is. Not as it could be, not as it should be, as it actually is. And then make a decision based on that. All right? I know that's kind of one of those missions you're like, but it's going to cause you to reevaluate a lot. Frequently we look at the potential and we don't look at the actual. And if we looked at the actual, we'd walk away. All right? Potential, so that's the mission today, to look with the light of love, but look with the light of truth. Okay, and then that'll help you decide where to focus your energy and focus your power. Okay, I am also going to encourage you to do what I always do, which is do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Absolutely whatever it looks like. Be it big, be it small, it doesn't matter. You deserve your own loving, kind compassion because you are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased, always. That is a state of grace. And grace isn't earned. Grace is given. And God always gives it. Spirit always gives that grace. So practice on yourself. Practice on yourself every day. Make that a permanent habit. Make it a default setting. Create that bank of kindness, compassion, and love, so that when you need it, you have it. And when you encounter somebody else that needs it, you have plenty to share. All right? That is my thing. That is my jam. Loving, kind, compassion for yourself. That's how we make a better world. If we are loving, kind, and compassionate with ourselves, we can be loving and kind and compassionate with other people. Okay, I'm also going to encourage you to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. I'm still biking. I may have to change myself from the running rev to the biking rev, but it is what it is. Drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. I always encourage you to drink plenty of water. Go get that face full of sun. There was a little bit of sun this morning. The rain's coming back in this afternoon, but there was sun this morning, so it was good to see. And I'm brighter for it, I guess. And open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you live in heaven now. It is all around you. It merely awaits your conscious connection. Always. Okay. So, it's Thursday. There is a prayer circle tonight. I believe they do that on Telebridge. I want to tell you it's at 7, but I'm not absolutely sure about the time. It is done by a couple of our practitioners. So if you are interested in that, email info@creativelife.org. Get on that email list. They'll tell you what's going on and request that link if you would like it. They are fantastic practitioners. Reverend David will also be on Facebook Live around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Do what you need to do to make it a great day, a fantastic day, an amazing day, a wonderful day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. All right, beloveds? Know that you are loved. Always know that you are loved. And catch us on all the social medias. I finally found out what the TikTok is. The TikTok is, it's the same as the Instagram. Creative Life underscore, I think it's creative underscore life. No, it's Creative Life. It's Creative Life Spark. There's underscores in there though, so Creative Life Spark. The Instagram and the TikTok are Creative Life Spark. The Facebook and the YouTube are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Check us out. I am on 3 of the 4 platforms. I'm not on TikTok yet. And I'm the Running Rev Ryan on all 3. So check us out. Have a wonderful day, beloveds. Until next time.